out of the frying pan and into the fire. Let's get out of the frying pan and into the fire. How on earth can that be used to supersize and grow our business? It absolutely positively can in many ways. This is one of those idioms that's been around for centuries. It was actually documented in English in 1528. It is from Proverbs. It is a fable that in the 15th century it made its way eventually into the Aesopic canon. So it's an idiom that's been with us for a long time. I don't recall ever saying, hey, let's get out of the frying pan and into the fire, or out of the frying pan and into the fire, because it usually indicates and means you're in a bad situation. If you're in a frying pan, you're already under a lot of pressure and a lot of heat. And if you fall into the fire, or if you end up jumping into the fire or moving to the fire or falling into the fire, that's usually worse because it's even hotter, which means there's more heat. There's more challenges in that situation. Now, anybody who started a business knows what it feels like maybe to go out of the frying pan and into the fire. Many of us have left corporate jobs and the security of corporate America and our professions to start our own businesses, which many people consider out of the frying pan and into the fire, because you've left something where you know how much you're going to get paid every week. You've got a steady income in most jobs, and you find that everything is now your responsibility, and not only responsibility for you and feeding yourself and your family, but all the other people that you hire and that you work with in your company and in your organization. So a lot of times that can feel like more pressure. It can feel hotter. It can feel like things are heating up. I think we've all had experiences. Anybody that's grilled, and maybe you haven't ever grilled or cooked anything outdoors or over the grill, but if you've ever cooked something on the grill and had it fall through into the fire, it's ruined usually. If you've ever been roasting marshmallows, toasting marshmallows, we did that at my daughter's wedding. It was so cool. And trying to make s'mores, and the marshmallow falls off into the fire. What do? You get another marshmallow. And I think that's the point of this entire idiom with respect to our businesses. We're going to try things. We're going to do things. And sometimes things are going to get worse. We're going to go for goals. We're going to go for projects. We're going to form relationships with vendors and customers that maybe aren't right for us. And then we're going to learn from that. It might get worse, but then we're going to learn from that, and we're going to continually improve and make our situation better. Has anyone ever gotten involved with a vendor and you knew it was bad, so you went out searching for a new vendor, only to find out that the new vendor, the way they treated you, the way they dealt with your business, was actually worse than the old vendor? Well, the point is that you're moving, and you're making actions and decisions and moving in the direction of better. It might get worse before it gets better, but you will eventually find the perfect vendor for you, the perfect vendor relationship. Um, the economy, things outside of our control. COVID's been a huge example of that. Things outside our control happen to us and our businesses. And for some businesses, it's better, it's more business. For other businesses, it feels worse. It feels like we're thrown out of the fry pan and into the fire by having to come up with new ways on the fly to serve our customers. But in the long run, it will be better for us because it's made us be more agile, be more creative, be more customer centric and customer focused to ensure that we are meeting our customers' needs. Although in the process, it feels like out of the fry pan into the fire. Sometimes things get worse before they get better. Uh, I would love to know your personal experiences with this idiom. I don't think I've ever said out of the fry pan and into the fire, but I've definitely experienced and felt this particular idiom in a lot of different ways. When I started any of my businesses, I often felt like I was out of the fry pan and into the fire. When I've switched companies, thinking that I was going from an environment or a place that I didn't really feel like I fit in corporate America to another one, a couple of those changes, I found out that the industries that I switched into actually had more problems, or were worse, or were a worse fit for me personally than the one I had been in. And then what did I do? I moved on to the next thing. So the key to being successful with this idiom, this particular phrase, out of the frying pan and into the fire, isn't to stay in the fire. It's to continue to move and jump out of the fire. If you happen to end up in the fire like our poor turkey, you don't stay there and cook. You jump out and you jump to the next thing faster and faster and faster until you find the ideal, perfect place and situation for you. Same thing with our customers. Has anyone ever had a customer that was not right for your business, or what I consider a bad customer? Because there is such a thing as a bad customer. Not a bad person, but a bad customer for you and your business. I personally have had that. And it was one of the most grueling, challenging situations because this particular customer represented about 75 to 80% of our gross revenue at the time. And we had to make massive changes to replace that income when we did finally get up the gumption to fire that customer. And for a couple of months, and it was only a couple of months, we were a little stressed out and worried. But what we found is it was really easy to replace that bad customer with customers that loved us and wanted to do business with us. So it felt like the fire for a couple of months, but then boom, we exploded and grew beyond our wildest dreams because we were willing to jump into the fire, jump out of the frying pan and into the fire to weather the storm. Sometimes things are forged in fire, right? It's our challenges and our difficulties and the problems that we have and the obstacles that we face that forge us and make us who we are as business owners and leaders. And it determines how we show up in the world. It's not the easy, cushy times and where everything is going right and well for us that we learn and grow. It's the times that we're challenged. So out of the frying pan into the fire. Love to know your experience with this, your stories with this. I've got some in probably every area and every aspect of my life with respect to health, with respect to relationships, with respect to businesses, with respect to jobs. I can think of tons of examples, so I bet you can too. That's it. Go out, have an absolutely amazing day, and I will be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it in your business right now? Take care.